I have been a working actor in film and television now for 41 years. I know I don't look that old, but it's been 41 years. Yeah, and I do mostly episodic television. And moving to Atlanta many years ago was not a business decision, it was a life choice for my family. But over the years, I've traveled a lot to stay busy. I work a lot in New York. I just work in Chicago on Chicago Med. But the foundational part, raising a family in Atlanta and where we were in the suburbs while our girls were growing up, has been really special. And it's worked out really great. And it's a wonderful part of the world. And I'm very grateful for the fact that, in spite of not being in what people think are the centers of the movie and TV universe, we've had a wonderful life. And I'm just really grateful for that. When I first started, it was there was a little less of that coveragey thing. I think over time, and this is, I think, is one of the things about the fact that cameras now are smaller and more portable, that you're seeing people doing more with the camera on the move and sort of following the action instead of cutting to the action. As a performer, I like that. I've always been fascinated by like the one shot films. There's a lot of shorts that you see and a few features where they're done in one shot. And I think that's really exciting because it reminds me of the days when I did theater, and you're really capturing the moment as it's really happening. There's less, and I don't mean this to be disrespectful, less kind of manufacturing of the moment. You just let it happen and you record it. Because I think one of the magical things about film is it's supposed to feel like we're sort of peeking in the kitchen window at the life that's happening. And so the more you allow the camera to do that and then allow the actors to just be and be in the moment and let things happen. And if something falls on the floor, you know that happens in life, and you pick it up and you keep going. But there's a reality to that where I think the audience gets very compelled by the fact that they're watching something that's really happening instead of sort of that was concocted. That is something that I think in most cases you have to learn as you do it. Even though some schools will try to recreate that, one of the components that really you have to learn to deal with, in addition to the technology, is the pressure of the moment. Because when it's all set up, when all the pieces are here and the meter's running, you got to get it. And you got to get it. And if we only have this location for the day and it's essential to the story, we got to get it. So there's those sort of technical elements that, as an actor, you don't, I don't think it's necessarily important for the actor to always understand that, but I think you got to be open to that part of it. So what I tell the actors to do is come prepared with choices, with intention, with the backstory of the character, with what gets you to this moment where you make it alive, and then open yourself up to the things that are going to happen to adjust to the technology so you can record it. But you, as the actor, have to bring your stuff, which is the fundamental walking in the character's shoes thing that you bring to each moment, and to stay focused on that. And the professionals who are trained to do this, they're going to make you look good, because in the end, they look good if they make it all look good. That idea of understanding light and camera and all those positions and stuff, first of all, you become the director and the crew's best friend if you just understand it. And for example, I've been in situations where the camera's rolling, we're in the shot, and for whatever happened, either the sun moved or the actor didn't, not in the right spot, there's a shadow somewhere. And if you just in the shot, if you sense that and you can fix it in the moment so they don't have to cut, reset, reshoot, and reposition, that they'll be really grateful for that you recognize that in the moment. But yes, I think it is important for the actor to have a general awareness to make sure that whatever brilliant work they're doing is on camera, because there may be actors who sort of get off on whatever is happening in the moment. But if it turns you away from camera, or if it puts you into the shadow, it's not worth anything to anybody. So there is a need to have sort of a general awareness of that. So, which is why I always just a second before you step into a shot is check the marks, check where everything is, get that sense of the space, before you do it, and that sort of preparation is freedom. So now I know it's sort of like when I teach kids, I talk about the concept of a sandbox. When your mom and dad took you to the playground, here's the sandbox, there's the walls of the sandbox. As long as you stay in there, you can do whatever you want. So it's kind of the same thing. Is if you understand all those parameters of the sandbox, then you go in there and you make the moment happen, and you bring your stuff, and then everybody loves it because you're giving your best, but also you're serving all of their needs to make sure we can hear it, we can see it, we can cut it, and all of that. It's really interesting when you sit in the theater, and you can just kind of sit back and just watch the audience, and it's really special because obviously you've lived with that story. I tell people, a few months back that was just something in my head, and now there it is. But so when we're at these kind of festivals and our film is playing, I like to watch the audience. I like to see where they're reacting, where they maybe are not reacting. I thought they would, because that's educational. Plus, we make these projects for the audience. We're in the emotion business. We're trying to move people. We're going to move people either happy, sad, funny, scared, whatever we're doing. But you want to get a sense if the audience is really moved by this, because then you're doing your job. And if it's not happening, you need to know that too. So that'll help make you better. And as far as film festivals and the community, I think that no matter how small your town is, no matter where you think you are, I think if there's a commitment to the arts and to commitment to creativity, this kind of an event is great for the community. Because not only does it bring in people who come to watch all these films, but it then showcases the people who are here, who do a lot of creative things. Like I noticed for a very small town, you have quite a collection of art galleries here. So you have a lot of really creative people who are doing the work, and then I think a lot of people who live there who really truly appreciate it. So this kind of event just brings another level of creativity into the marketplace. It gets people together to talk their appreciation for film. And there are very few places in the country, in the world, where people are enthralled with the filmmaking and the filmmaking process. And for a small town like this to get to meet these filmmakers who actually do it, and maybe some familiar faces that they've seen in other things, that's a really special thing. And I think it's wonderful for this community to be committed to that, and I'm sure economically there's a great benefit for it. But any place around where you have a commitment to the arts is a good thing for mankind in general. I think now more than ever, it's been talked about a lot. We need storytellers. We need people to come out and tell their story and continue to move people. So I commend the city of Tryon and the people here for doing this, and I look forward to coming back.